C'est la boo, everybody, and welcome back to the HabWrap. I'm your host, Harry Rice. You're listening to the friendliest and funniest source for anything and everything related to the Montreal Canadiens. And tonight, the second half of a back-to-back that we started covering yesterday, obviously, or technically this morning. You get what I mean. The Montreal Canadiens in their 73rd game. They have 8 games remaining after this one. They would play the Carolina Hurricanes. And what a game it was. Goaltending for like the 5th straight game is the story. We're going to get right into the lines and everything because you guys know what's up probably. So yeah, let's do it. The opening lines for the Canadiens. We're Caufield, Suzuki, Slafkovsky, Newhook, Kapanen, Demidov, Bolduc, Dano, Evans, Jack-Eye, Veleno, Gallagher. Wait, Florian got the call-up? Nope. Anderson is still sick. Arbor Jack-Eye gets the game. You might be wondering, well, Harry, why don't you list him under the defense? They played him as a forward. They didn't ice 7 defensemen in nature, switching Jack-Eye and Struble, for example. They played Jack-Eye as a forward and still gave him Arbor Jack-Eye minutes. So yeah, Jack-Eye at least played. That's nice, I guess. On the blue line, Matheson, Dobson, Struble, Hudson, Gouli, Carrier. Jakub Dobes obviously gets the starting net for the Canadiens, and Jacob Fowler backs him up because he played last night in Nashville. The opening lines for the Hurricanes were Svechnikov, Aho, Jarvis, Hall, Stankoven, Blake, Ehlers, Stahl, Martinook, Carrier, that is William, obviously, Jankowski, Robinson. On the blue line, Slavin, Chatfield, Miller, Walker, Gostisbehere, Nikishin. Frederik Andersen gets the start net for the Hurricanes, and Brendan Bussey backs him up as he played last night. So, the first line, TSN was having some broadcast problems to start the game. I don't know if anybody else was experiencing this. I imagine it was a nationwide TSN issue. But the commentary kept going out early on. Their pregame even was being affected by it. It was kind of cutting in and out. I think it was like the first 4 minutes. There was no commentary, which I was kind of interested in. I was kind of excited that there was no commentary, having to do the notes 100% on my own instead of, relying a little bit on the broadcast to at least give me names of players. I was interested to see how that went, but it would very quickly return. I like to think it was because there was a lot of complaints on Twitter, but I've not been looking, so I wouldn't know, but I'd imagine there were a lot to start the game. I should also mention, this was a 5 p.m. start, by the way. Very interestingly, 2 games in technically less than 24 hours, so yeah. The Hurricanes, again, also coming off of a game yesterday, but they looked ready. Spoiler alert. The Habs ice a puck a minute and 1 second in after Dobes makes a very good save already. Dobes has another good save on whoever number 71 was for the Hurricanes. I can find that really quickly. Taylor Hall. Oh, okay. Taylor Hall would be all over the game tonight, so that's not a surprise that he gets a good look early. Demidov dekes a man out of his skates at center. Nikishin has a long shot, but that's gloved and held by Dobes. And then Jack-Eye steps on the ice. I just put Jack-Eye playing left wing. I love it. Suzuki has a delayed offside. Slavin's shot gets right to Dobes. He holds. 4 minutes in, the shots are 5-0 Hurricanes. There's a missed trip on Demidov behind the net. The Habs get lucky there. Hall screens on a shot, but it gets blocked. Hudson, them a 3-shot blocks. Hell yeah, Laner. Canes were in control early. I put this shouldn't be a surprise given we played less than 24 hours ago. And yeah, so that sucks. There is a delayed penalty to the Canadiens. The Canes do pressure. Ehlers in front has a good stick lift at the last second. Dobes makes a good save on Miller. And the Habs go to a penalty kill 8 minutes in. Still without a shot, by the way. Gouli gets called to for a hook. That sucks. Canes do pressure. There's a Gostisbehere shot, gloved and held. Ghost then goes wide because Carrier's stick gets that one out of the way. They cycle it, and they score almost immediately after. Andrei Svechnikov with his 26th of the year. He goes up top, and Hurricanes take the 1-0 lead, I believe, on their 10th shot of the game, which, Jesus. So, yeah, the Hurricanes take the lead. Habs are 0 for 1 on the penalty kill tonight. This was not looking like it was going to be a very good game for the Canadiens, unfortunately. Stankoven has a shot wide. A second look gets blocked by Slafkovsky. The Hurricanes pressure. Matheson eats a hard hit by Sean Walker. The shots are 10-0 at the half for the Hurricanes. Hudson with great defense on Martinook to prevent a 2-on-1. That comes right after a Jack-Eye shot that's fired wide as he's looking for Gallagher in front. Ehlers has speed. There's a shot squeezed by Dobes. He falls over as he keeps holding on to it. That was fun. With 8 minutes left, the Habs finally get a shot. It's Dobes on a rebound from a shot that was wide. Anderson does make the pad save. Newhook gets tripped up. There's no call. He does get a shot, but it's over the net. Halden has a 2-on-1. He finds Stankoven. Beautiful 5-hole save. Dobes. The refs don't blow it dead. The Canes go poking, and then finally there's a whistle, which, Jesus. Habs can't get set up. At this point, I mentioned that Jack-Eye's not seeing the ice all that much, despite being the only fresh skater. That would remain true. Jack-Eye saw a grand total of 5 minutes and 11 seconds tonight, so I don't think he played more than one shift in the third period. Which, if you're not going to allow your physical player who's coming in to replace another guy whose only attribute is being physical, why the hell are you even playing him? At that point, genuinely play Patrick Laine. Texier, I think, is injured day to day, so I think he actually can't play right now. But play Patrick Laine. Why Arbor Jack-Eye just to give him 5 minutes? You basically literally gave him late 90s enforcer minutes when he was not out there to enforce. You know, I get the lines were really, really changed. The lines aside from the top line, not necessarily put into a blender, but trying out different line combinations because you don't have Josh Anderson and you're trying different things. Why not try Jack-Eye on the third line? Let him play a net front presence, you know? Take him away from Gallagher. Have Gallagher be the net front presence. Let Jack-Eye be a net front presence on the third line. It doesn't make sense. Ehlers then with a bitch move. He cross-checks Gooley right in the face. On the replay, it looked like more the chin rather than the straight up face, which is a little better, I guess. It does take a second, but senior official Cody Beach does eventually call that one. So yeah, the Habs go to a power play with just about 5 minutes left in the first period. So we'll see if they can get something done. The Canes do clear. Habs are able to set up. There's a look in front off of a Caufield wrister. Hudson can't put it home. He just fans on it. That was just wide. The second unit comes out. Dobson has a backhander saved. Another chance for Dobson. That gets pad stopped out of play. Dobson then with another slapper that gets saved. Dobson had a very good game, I think. Anderson can't clear. Dobson has another shot, but that one gets blocked. Habs are 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. Sorry. There's a haul hit from behind on Gooley. There's no call there. Canes press, but a shot is deflected out of play. Dobes might be hurt as he stretches to make a save on a wrap try. He was slow to get up. Oh, Jesus. The shots are 13-6 Hurricanes, and they have a 1-0 lead after the first period. So, yeah, that was the main concern out of the first. Wasn't, okay, we're only down by 1. We need to play harder. The concern was, oh, God, Dobes might be hurt. But in the second period, Dobes is out to start. That's good. And spoiler, he would play the rest of the game. He wouldn't. There was, I think, one moment with 4 minutes left where he was fatigued in the third period, where he was just fatigued. He was slow to get up after a whistle, but it wasn't due to injury. At least it looked like it wasn't, but yeah. There's a shot early as Matheson loses his stick. Slav has a hard hit on Hall. God damn, that was nice. Canes are skating around as they please. The Habs were clearly tired at this stage. There is a shot saved. Nikishin has one. That gets saved. Dobes not moving much early to make the saves. I think he's just trying to get comfortable early in the second frame. Dobes with probably the best exit pass so far for the Canadiens. Jesus. Svechnikov gets saved. Jarvis gets found on a break, and a glove by... good pass by Anderson to get that going as the Habs went for a line change. And Dobes with the glove. Beauty of a save. Dobes on fire. And yes, it does go without saying, Dobes was the reason we weren't down 3 or 4 after the first period. But I'm going to sing his praises enough that I think you guys could figure that out. And, yeah. There's a bad break. Jarvis comes in again. There's another good save. Hudson goes up the ice. There's a 2-on-1. Cole can't take the shot. He passes. Zooks is on a break. And he scores. Nick Suzuki, the captain, ties his career high. 89th point of the year. Nick Suzuki ties it at 6:18 from Caufield and Hudson. It's just a nice little give and go. Caufield in front for Suzuki. Not necessarily a cross crease, but definitely more of just almost a tap in. But Suzuki with the beauty of a wrister. His 25th goal of the season. Again, he scores from Caufield and Hudson. Your 3 top scorers all in on that goal. And the Canadiens, against the flow of play, have all of a sudden tied the game up just like that. Jackson Blake gets found on a break. Another pad save by Dobes. Back the other way, the Habs are called for an offside on a near 2-on-0. Damn it, that would have been fun to see. The Habs have an icing at 7 minutes. Canes press, but the game is slowly starting to turn the way of the Canadiens. Habs have a top-line press. Suzuki just fans on a press. That's after a Struble slapper hits Slav. Hull gets found on a break. Another great save by Dobes. And moments later, Jarvis with a shot. That's gloved by Jakub Dobes. The Canes keep the Habs hemmed in. That's after a Demidov look where Nikishin blocks that. The former teammates back in the KHL. Habs get a lucky break as the Hurricanes are called for too many men. Delay of game with 7:30 left. I was going to say 7 minutes, but then that didn't make sense. But no, 7.5 in would not have made sense. 7.5 left in the period does make sense. So yeah, Habs do pressure. There's some crisp passes. Suzuki in front has a puck just go wide of a stick on a wide open net. Caufield has a sharp angle shot, but that's out of play. Anderson with a great pad save on Slavkovsky as the top line scrambles after a really nice passing play. Habs then turn it over. The Canes do clear. Aho has a shot saved with a second left. The Habs 0 for 2 on the power play tonight. Hurricanes pressure after a Gallagher look goes nowhere. There's a good save by Dobes. Dobes just had a phenomenal game tonight. Yeah, he has stabilized himself. Jakub Dobes is here. Jakub Dobes is ready. Jakub Dobes is the starter into the playoffs. Habs can't clear. This was going to bite them soon, I thought. The Habs get hemmed in for about 2:30. I think that was... what line? It was like Newhook, Kapanen, and Gallagher, I think, was the line out there. Dobes was the reason the game wasn't 5-1 at this point, which... huge compliments to Dobes. He was fantastic again. Canes have an icing with 2:39. The Canes get it back in the zone, but off of a draw. There's a rush, and again, against the flow of play, the Habs score. Cole Caufield in the right circle. Beauty of a wrister. Cole Caufield, number 46. 2 back now, I believe, of Nathan MacKinnon with, again, 0 empty net goals this year. There it is. 90 points as well for Nick Suzuki. Cole scores with 2:28 left. Suzuki and Hudson with the assists. Another great breakout by Hudson. This is why people should not discredit the secondary assists. Without those 2 Hudson passes, this game is still 1-0 Carolina at this point. And instead, because of Hudson, it's 2-1 Canadiens. Cole with a beauty goal there, just puts it over the blocker, I believe, of Frederik Andersen. You don't let a goal scorer walk in like that. You don't let him in on a rush. Canes did, and they got burned big time. Bolduc gets found on a rush, but Andersen has a pad save. The top line pressures. The Canadiens have shifted momentum at this point. It is a Canadiens game now. And with 14.5 left, Eric Robinson, 200 feet from his own net, he trips up a man, and the Hurricanes get a penalty kill they're going to have to kill off. And Montreal scores with 5.8 seconds left. Nick Suzuki, a 3-point game on the doorstep, whacks at a puck. His second chance goes home. Beauty of a passing play off the draw. I think everybody got in on that except Caufield, funny enough. But Dobson goes to Slavkovsky, cross crease to Suzuki. He gets the second chance. And Nick Suzuki does it. Again, his 26th of the year from Slavkovsky and Demidov. Suzuki, 91 points. He now needs 9 points in his last 7 games to hit 100. And the crazy thing is, there's a very good chance that he might be able to. So either way, it is 3-1 for the Canadiens. And, more importantly, 1 for 3 on the power play tonight. So after the second period, the Habs have the 3-1 lead. The shots 26-14 for the Hurricanes. Jakub Dobes doing his best Carey Price impression. In the third, we'll see how this goes. There's a missed puck out of play on the Hurricanes. The Canadiens wanted it. Instead, they're going to go to the penalty kill. Suzuki gets called for a trip. 29 seconds in. That sucks. The Canes have a cycle. There's a good body by Evans in the slot. Ghost has a shot way wide of the net. Jesus. Habs do clear with 30 seconds left. Matheson has a clear off the boards. The Habs 1 for 2 on the penalty kill tonight. Suzuki almost gets sprung out of the box, but Evans tips it to the Canes player by accident at neutral. He looks up and says, "God damn it, why did I do that?" Gouli gets knocked down by Will Carrier. It's a bad hit. Jack Eye's looking up at the Tron to see who he has to target. However, Marty at this point basically benches him. So yeah, that's still probably the one flaw of Marty St. Louis, is that he doesn't know how to coach 90 points Suzuki. He doesn't know how to coach offensive players. No, he doesn't know how to coach physical players. I'm sure he'll learn that for next year, or at the very least hire maybe a new defensive coach who actually knows how to coach defense. Habs clear the zone at the line after a good stall chance is turned away. Aho in the slot finds the post. Jesus, that was close. And the Habs go to a power play. There's a 2-on-1 as Suzuki goes across to Caufield. He is clearly hooked by Andrei Svechnikov. Very lucky that's not a penalty shot. That probably should have been, though. It is a smart penalty to take, though, at 5 minutes. The Canes clear early as Caufield tries to find... Caufield tries to find Suzuki for the hat trick. There's a Hudson shot gloved and held by Andersen. Second unit doesn't do shit as usual. The Habs 1 for 4 on the power play. Svechnikov has a rush, but the shot is saved. Svech then hits new hook into the numbers. Of course, there's no call. Nikishin has a shot blocked off a puck battle. Ehlers' shot goes wide. Canes fans are booing their team. You love to see it. Habs ice a puck with 7:57 left. Habs were slowing the game down. They're just trying to keep Carolina out of it. Slaff off a puck battle finds Caufield. The shot is up high, though, unfortunately. Andersen does make the save. And the Habs get called for too many men with 6:17 left in the third. There were 7 skaters out on the ice. I have no clue how that happens, but... not 7, sorry. There were 6 men out on the ice. 2 men came on for 1 guy changing. I don't know how that happens. The Canes cycle, but there are no shots there. Deneau's a shot block. There's another for Dobson, and a dive at the line. Just can't keep the puck out, or can't get it out, I should say. Habs do finally clear. This is at the point where Dobes is fatigued. There's another clear by Jake Evans, and the Habs at this point 2 for 3 on the penalty kill. Looking good at this stage. The Habs have a bad change. Hall gets on a break. Dobes makes the save. Hell to the yeah. Andersen goes to the bench with about 3:20 left. Dobes was maybe thinking about the empty net. He is actually looking at the net as he's covering the puck. he was thinking about it, and oh boy, that would have been awesome. Slavkovsky goes just wide by a couple inches of the empty net. The Habs have an icing with 3:11. Suzuki blocks an Aho shot. Evans has a chance. He just waits to try a pass to Suzuki. Tries to go right by the captain, but it just gets blocked, unfortunately. Slavkovsky then has a look, but that's also blocked. The Canes press roughly in the final minute. The Habs getting the clears to center. Veleno has a shot for the empty net, but just can't hit it. Canes look with 15 seconds left. They're not going to get anything. The Canadiens win it 3-1 in regulation. And for the first time in, I believe, a decade, the Canadiens sweep the season series against the Carolina Hurricanes. We won on January 1st, 7-5. Of course, we just won on Tuesday, 5-2. And this game, 3-1. The final shots, 35-18 for the Hurricanes. Jakub Dobes, 34 out of 35. Holy shit. What a wonderful game for the Montreal Canadiens. What a fantastic game for Jakub Dobes. The Hurricanes are going to hate playing the Montreal Canadiens for the next decade plus. It's just a game where they didn't start on time. They finished well, ended up playing a pretty solid 45 minutes, if you ask me, especially defensively. Once I think they finished the game with something like 25 blocked shots. 25 blocked shots, and I think there was also 15 shots missed on net. Or 15 shots on net missed by the Hurricanes, which is just, Jesus, they could have had 60 to 70 shots. That's scary. But, Canadiens get the win. With this one, we're now at a 42-21-10 record, a 5-game winning streak for the Montreal Canadiens. You absolutely love to see it, baby. Yes, you do. The Canadiens still third in the Atlantic Division, which we're perfectly fine with. Right now, we actually would play the Sabres, so we're not playing the Lightning now. It would be the Buffalo Sabres, which I wouldn't be mad at. I think that'd be a very fun playoff series. We are now up 2 points on the Boston Bruins with a game in hand on them. On the Blue Jackets, which again I wouldn't really worry about, I'd imagine they're probably going for third in or second in the Metro more than likely. But we are up by 6 points on them. We're up 8 points on the Ottawa Senators and Detroit Red Wings, and we are up 10 points on the Philadelphia Flyers for a potential wildcard spot. So the Canadiens, they look pretty good to miss the playoffs. We're up 8 points on the team. We'd have to go on a 4-game losing streak, which, not being cocky, but realistically shouldn't happen, you'd imagine. Especially with how the games are down the stretch for the Canadiens. The fact that we play the Lightning on Tuesday, the Rangers Thursday, and then it's a Saturday and Sunday home and home with the Devils. Right there, realistically should go 2-2-0, which should be good. Then the next week we play the Panthers, Lightning, Blue Jackets, and Islanders. Same schedule, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Should go, I would think, 2-2-0 there too. Depending on how the games against the Lightning go, we could maybe split those. Maybe one week we go 3-1-0. And then our last game is on the Tuesday against the Philadelphia Flyers to end the season. So I would say a relatively friendly schedule for the Montreal Canadiens. Even if at this point we just go 500 down the stretch. We've been in the stretch for like 10 games already, but in the last 9 games of the season, we go 500, that should get us into the playoffs. The Senators, they've been okay, but not good. The Red Wings are faltering off because it's March. That's what they do. The Flyers are getting hot, but they are probably also going for a spot in the Metro. So yeah, the Canadiens, they've probably got a playoff spot all but shored up already, just like Tampa and Buffalo. I mean, it's been this way for a couple months now, but we're obviously getting close to officially being clinched into the playoff spot. I'd imagine for the Lightning and Sabres, it's probably another 2 wins probably gets them in. For the Canadiens, it's probably another 4 or 5 games, depending on how the other teams do. If everybody that's below us obviously loses a couple more, then yeah, very likely that they probably clinch a little bit sooner, but obviously we shall see. So yeah, we're going to get into the stats, and then we are going to get on out of here. So yeah, let's do it. Again, obviously, Nick Suzuki leads the Canadiens with 26 goals, 65 assists for 91 points. He has 5 points in his last 2 games. Goal Caufield, 46 goals, 33 assists for 79 points. Lane Hudson, 11 goals, 62 assists for 73 points. He is on a 12-game goalless drought, but on the opposite end is on a 4-game assist streak. Juraj 28 goals, 36 assists for 64 points. Ivan Demidov, 16 goals, 41 assists for 57 points. He has 4 in his last 3 games. Nice. Noah Dobson, 12 goals and 34 assists for 46 points. No, Demidov has 5 points in his last 4 games now. I did not update that. My apologies. Dobson is on a 14-game goalless drought. Oliver Kapanen, 22 goals, 15 assists for 37 points. Mike Matheson, 6 goals, 28 assists for 34 points. He's on a 14-game goalless drought. Zach Bolduc, 11 goals, 17 assists for 28 points. Josh Anderson, who is still sick, 13 goals, 9 assists, 22 points. Jake Evans and Alex Newhook, each with 11 goals and 11 assists for 22 points. Alexander Carrier, 7 goals, 15 assists, 22 points. Brendan Gallagher, 6 goals, 16 assists, 22 points. Alexander Texier, 8 goals, 12 assists, 20 points. Still a 6-game pointless drought. Kirby Dach, 8 goals, 6 assists for 14 points, and 1 point in his last 6 games before he got hurt. Phil Deneau, 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points. He is on a 10-game pointless drought. Jaden Struble with a goal and 10 assists for 11 points. Caden Gooley, 2 goals, 8 assists, 10 points. Sammy Blais back in Laval in his time with the Canadiens, 2 goals and 3 assists for 5 points. Joe Veleno, 2 goals and 2 assists for 4 points. He is on a 15-game pointless drought. Arbor Jacki with a goal and an assist for 2 points. He is on a 28-game pointless drought. Owen Beck had a goal and a 7-game pointless drought before he got sent back down to Laval. Patrick Laine, Florian Jacki, and Jared Davidson, the latter of whom both are in the AHL, all have an assist this year. Arbor Jacki obviously leads the Canadiens with 7 fights. Josh Anderson, Jaden Struble each with 2. Brendan Gallagher, Kirby Dach, Caden Gooley, Joe Veleno, and Florian Jacki all with a fight as well this year. Jakub Dobes leads the Canadiens with a 25-8-4 record in net, a 2.78 goals against average, and a 900 save percentage. He finally got back there. Let's go, Dobes. Please don't be the new Martin Jones. Samuel Montembeault with a 10-8-4 record, a 3.43 goals against average, and an 872 save percentage. And Jacob Fowler with a 7-5-2 record, a 2.59 goals against average, and a 903 save percentage. Along with the lone shutout for the Montreal Canadiens this year. So yeah, that is going to do it for this episode of the HabWrap. Thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Hit the follow button if you're on Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you might be listening to the podcast on. And please share the podcast as well with anybody who you think might enjoy it, such as a fellow Montreal Canadiens fan, a hockey fan who's maybe looking for a Montreal Canadiens podcast, or someone who you think just might enjoy listening to some fat kid from Quebec talk about the Montreal Canadiens for half an hour after every game. Again, that is going to do it for this episode of the HabWrap. That is going to do it again. My name is Harry Rice, and always remember, no matter how good we are last year, how pretty good we are like this year, or how great we will be like the future, go Habs go, Allez Montreal, and say with me everybody, c'est la boo!